Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm going to call this meeting to order. This is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Commissioners Court of Hood County. Today is Tuesday, June the 28th, 2022. It's 9 a.m. and we're in the Central Jury Room of the Ralph H. Walton Jr. Justice Center at 1200 West Pearl Street, Granbury, Texas. We're very pleased with us to have today a lady, and I mean a lady pastor who's well known in the community. She's unfortunately married to Mike McMahon that we all know and love, who's always a standby here. But we have Pastor Sandy McMahon here that's going to give us the invocation this morning. Pastor McMahon.
Father, thank you for the privilege and opportunity to pray for these commissioners and the meeting this morning. I pray that they are filled with discernment, understanding, and knowledge so that the stability of Hood County will long continue. I confess and believe that the decisions made here today by these leaders are divinely directed by you, Father. Your word says that blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. Well, I say that goes for Hood County as well. And I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, now would you join me for a pledge of allegiance to our flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
All right. Well, today we have a good day because we have a number of special presentations. And the first one we have today is a proclamation declaring July the 7th, 2022, a day to honor Texas fallen officers. And I've been asked by the committee for me to read this proclamation, so I'm going to come down there and read it and ask that all members that are part of this, and I know that Julia Pinnell and Faith and let's get in front of this with my voice so that we can all be around here. How about this?
Yeah, Kevin's part of our team.
Is Kevin part of your
Yes,
team?
we are very proud he's on our committee.
Well, I'm glad he's here too. I always felt good when he was been the bailiff of my court. I always felt very secure when he said, "All rise." Nobody stay seated when Kevin said, "All rise." So that was good.
You get up here, Kevin.
My friend. All right. This is a proclamation to designate July 7th, 2022 as a day to honor Texas fallen officers. Whereas on July the 7th, 2016, Micah Xavier Johnson ambushed a group of police officers in Dallas, Texas, shooting and killing 5 officers and injuring 9 others. 2 civilians were also wounded. Johnson was an Army Reserve Afghan war veteran and was angry over police shootings of black men. The shooting happened at the end of a protest against the police killings of Alton Sterling in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Philando Castillo in Falcon Heights, Minnesota, which had occurred in the preceding days. The shooting was the deadliest incident for U.S. law enforcement since the September 11, 2001 attack, surpassing 2 related March 2009 shootings in Oakland, California, and a November 2009 ambush shooting in Lakewood, Washington, which had each resulted in the death of 4 police officers and the shooting deaths of both suspects. It was the second deadliest targeted attack of U.S. law enforcement officers in history, and the largest since the Young Brothers Massacre of 1932 which resulted in the deaths of 6 law enforcement officers in Missouri. And whereas Friends of Memorial Lane recognizes and acknowledges the selfless acts of law enforcement servants as they leave for work each day, not knowing if they would return to their families or not. And whereas Friends of Memorial Lane's mission is to honor and remember all first responders, a special ceremony will be observed on July 7th, 2022 at the Jim Burke Firefighters Memorial Park located in Granbury, Texas, beginning at 8 p.m. and will finish with a special thin blue line crossing. And whereas citizens of Granbury and Hood County, Texas will be joining members of the EMS, Police Department, Sheriff's Office, the Brazos River Authority, Texas Highway Patrol, Hood County Constable's Office, Texas Parks and Wildlife, and the Friends of Memorial Lane Board, and having a roll call for these servants in Texas that have fallen since July 1st, 2021, and we'll be recognizing the family of Hood County Reserve Deputy Gary Medlin at this year's ceremony. Now therefore, the Hood County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim July 7th, 2022 as Texas Fallen Officers Day, a day for all citizens are invited to join Friends of Memorial Lane at the Jim Burke Firefighter Memorial Park to both honor and remember the 2021-2022 Texas fallen officers and to present a special flag flown over the law enforcement site to the Medlin family. Signed this 28th day of June, 2022, signed by myself, Ron Massengill, and all members of the Commissioners Court of Hood County, Texas. This is wonderful. Thank y'all very much. This is a great honor. Come on.
Everyone here is invited to that. It is the most beautiful, moving, I think, one of the ceremonies that we do. And to hear that roll call, then have that glow watch at the end of the evening. So park next door and walk over and join us.
All right, you get a picture? You did? Okay. Well, I'm going to give you, well, let me get Ms. Lang to sign both of these.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the real pretty one. We'll put this one in the record.
All right.
Ms. Lang, you want to sign both, and we'll give them one.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you. I'll tell you, the Friends of Memorial Lane do a lot of great things, and if you haven't been to see the Friends of Memorial Lane, if you haven't seen the Memorial Lane Park lately, after the addition of the Space Force, it is just absolutely stunning to have that. And I think that Granbury is the only park in the nation that
In
has
the world.
all. In the world?
Yeah, we found that they had not made that bronze in that presentation to any other organization in the world.
How about that? Little old Granbury here in Hood County, Texas has that special distinction. That's due to the work of these fine people and all the members of the Friends of Memorial Lane and the board, and especially if you're Julie Fennell, who had the idea to do this. I thought that was great. And now we have Sheriff Dees that's going to have a special commendation for Deputy Daniel Martin. Deputy Martin here?
Yes, he is. He's been
Deputy
working all
Martin,
night.
don't be afraid to come on up here. We're not
Come on
going to
up.
embarrass you. We're just going to have you give a 15-minute speech.
Well, I've got 4 of them here to recognize today, so cut it
Okay.
down to 10 minutes. I'm recognizing Daniel Martin with the Sheriff Commendation for what he did on June the 4th. He was on routine patrol and got a call for a drowning, and he responded along with the rest of the shift too, but he jumped in the water and found the guy within 15 minutes, got him out of the water, so gave him every chance he could to make it. So Appreciate everything you do. Thank you. Thanks, sir. Don't go away. You can sit down, but. He gets along.
All right. Deputy Mike Harris.
Deputy Mike Harris, come on up. So this life-saving award goes to Deputy Mike Harris. He was on routine patrol, and he responded to a structure fire on May the 4th out in Oak Trail Shores on Cedar Street. And he did everything he could, not dressed like a fireman and not trained like a fireman, but he tried everything he could to get in the house to rescue. There was one person that went back in the house for some unknown reason, and anyway, he did everything he could to get in there and try to get him out, and then he worked with the firemen to bring him out after the fact, and he was fine, and he went back home. He only spent like a day in the hospital or something like that. I believe so. So he made it back home, so thanks to you, he's alive and well. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Next is Deputy Israel Shelley. Well, there's a bunch of these. How many Shelleys and brothers do you have up here? Every time I turn around, there's about 4 or 8 of them. Isn't
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So this goes back a little ways farther. February 19th, Deputy Shelley was on routine patrol again, and he responded to 301 Reed Road. I guess I'm not supposed to say the address, but for a medical emergency on 2 juveniles overdosed, and neither one was breathing, so he jumped in and did CPR, pushed Narcan to help take care of those guys. He wasn't the only one on that call, but the next one will be up in a minute, so thank you for all you do.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Next is Deputy Stephen Burge.
Deputy Burge was on that same call, responded, and they worked like a team to get things done for these 2 juveniles that had overdosed, and did CPR and pushed Narcan and helped take care of them. Thank you for all you do.
So,
Thank you. So these guys aren't just out here to write tickets and arrest people. They love doing that, though, but they're out there saving lives.
there you go. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, now you got service awards, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, James Lucky, 5 years. How many 5 years do you have? I mean, about 10 5 years award. I bet you're looking pretty good to be, yeah.
He's been in law enforcement a long time, but this doesn't make it look like he has, but he helps greatly with a lot of different things in investigation, does a great job for me, and I appreciate everything you do.
Good.
So thank you.
Thanks, sir. I'll add that to my collection.
Daniel Martin, 5 years.
You've already met Deputy Martin, but yeah, now he's been with me for 5 years. He does a great job taking care of business, and get a 5-year certificate and a pin. Well, thanks, sir. So, thank you.
Okay, and last is Kathryn Boone, 15 years.
Yeah, and she didn't make it today. I believe she worked all night on an off-duty job. So, but yeah, she's worked for me for 15 years, does a great job. She's a sergeant on the night shift.
Oh, great. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the citizens' comments pertaining to agenda items only. Well, that's proud. Look at all those officers leaving with their family here. That's a good.
Have an extra here.
Thank all of y'all for coming, supporting your families. Katie, does anybody have anything? Did anybody hand you any public participation forms? Nope. Okay, so none of that. So now we go to the consent agenda. Does any commissioner wish to pull anything from the consent agenda? No. If not, do I hear a proper motion?
Approve the consent agenda.
Okay, a motion's been made by Commissioner Andrews to approve the consent agenda, second by Commissioner Wilson. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Okay. Then the next thing up here is road ops, and road ops, no, nothing? Okay. And development, nothing, Mr. Head? Okay. So I guess that's Miss Kidd up here for financial. Miss Kidd.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. You've all received advance information regarding expenditures for this court. You also have a spreadsheet of invoices over $10,000, and for this court, the payments are $374,649.86. Are there any questions regarding any of these expenditures?
Recommend payment?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the payments of $374,649.86.
A motion been made by Commissioner Cotton to pay the payment of invoices, amount of $374,649.86. Second by Commissioner Andrews. Any further discussion? Comment? Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. What else do you have, Ms. Kidd?
You've also been given copies of monthly reports that we've received. We have reviewed all these and ask that you accept them.
Okay. Do I hear a motion regarding the acceptance of the financial reports?
Yes, I move that we accept the financial reports as reported.
Okay.
Second.
Motion is made by Commissioner Wilson to accept the financial reports as reviewed and received by the Audit Department, second by Commissioner Eagle. Any further comment or question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Ms. Kidd. This brings us down to miscellaneous. Item number 1, pursuant to Local Government Code 152.014, take appropriate action for the county judge to draw names for the Salary Grievance Committee from a pool of citizens who served on a grand jury in Hood County during the preceding calendar year. So if Ms. Lang, the county clerk, will allow me to reach in here. The first name is Matthew Odell Cox. The second name is Deborah Jean Powell. The third name is Susan Elaine Lowry. Fourth name is Sabrina K. Everett. Next is Richard Carl Capodaglia. Well, okay. I don't know if I butchered that up enough, but we got his name up here. If anybody knows him, apologize. The next name is Ashley Gale Cypher. Next is John David Feller. Next name is Edwin Travis Floyd. Next is Bonnie M. Faulkner. Next is David Lewis Turnock. Next is Loretta Ann Alloway. Next name is Ronald Thomas Hargrave. Next is Michelle Kellogg Becker. Next is Brooke Allen Hammond. Next is Miles Herbert Schuler. And the last name is Angela Dawn Gentry. And these will be the names of the Salary Grievance Committee and the alternates, which are why we have so many, and Ms. Lang has taken all those into custody. So that completes item number 1. Okay. I guess, do we need a motion that we need to approve those names as a salary committee? I think we do. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll make the motion that the names that I've just read into the record pursuant to drawing the names comprise the Salary Grievance Committee from the pool of citizens who serve on the grand jury in Hood County, Texas.
Second.
And second by Commissioner Cotton. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously 5-0. Okay, the next item, approve request for annual renewal of RFP 2019-003, bulk waste, CCS, and services to Waste Connections with pricing increase. We have Mr. Glenn Tillman here. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. This is just basically a routine annual renewal. However, there is a 7% price increase going along with it, which is unfortunate, but, you know, in line with more or less than many of the other increases we've been seeing this year. This vendor, Jeannie has a good relationship and works well, and is very interested in renewing this. So I'd appreciate it if we would approve that request.
Well, it's actually less than the actual real inflation rate, not according to the media, but the real inflation rate. So do I hear a motion to approve the annual renewal?
Yes, I move that we approve the annual renewal for FB 2019-003 bulk waste, CCS, and services to Waste Connection with the pricing increases as described.
Okay. Motion has been made by Commissioner Wilson to approve the annual renewal. of the bulk waste and services to Waste Connections with the price increase. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Andrews. Any further questions or debate? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously 5-0.
Thank you.
Mr. Tillman. Okay, this is a real good one. I love this one here. We have to have two. We got to have the sheriff, and then we have to have Lieutenant Johnny Rose up here, because this guy, I hate to lose this guy up here. He's been a real good law enforcement for us, but we have to consider and take appropriate action on retiring Sheriff Officer Deputy Joey Watts' weapon per the Texas Government Code, Section 614.051, purchase of a firearm by honorably retired peace officer. And I move that we let Joey Watts purchase his service revolver for $1. Do I hear a second?
Second. I'll second.
Seconded. Motion second. Commissioner Andrews.
And there's a
All
dollar.
those in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion is unanimous. And let the record reflect that Sheriff Deeds is paying the $1 for Mr. Watts so that you are getting your revolver actually to you free of charge. You used it honorably, and we thank you for all your service.
We spent a lot of money on him in training, just keep that in mind when we do the raises and stuff. We're losing a lot of money seeing him go. So,
Yeah, well,
he's been a good hand.
He's been a good hand, hasn't he?
Yes.
He's been doing everything. And if Lieutenant Rose says you've done a good job, backed up by the sheriff, I guess we hate to lose you to the Texas Comptroller. What is that? Why do they need a man of your experience at the Comptroller's
All
office?
that training we gave him. So.
All that money they've got.
Well, tell the Comptroller we're sending them a bill, okay?
I'll tell them.
Hey, congratulations and good luck to you. Do you ever look at that?
There, you want to double your money? I'll give you $2.
And we did provide the make and model number and serial number to the purchasing, so I didn't even get to speak. You guys are getting good at this. I don't want any more to retire anytime soon, but thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Make sure
Good
you
luck.
give that dollar to the treasurer, make sure she gets her money.
Let the record reflect that Sheriff Deeds has had the $1 to the Treasury Department. Where is Leanne today?
She's in school down the opposite.
School? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Item number 4, discuss and take appropriate action for carpet replacement at adult probation and juvenile probation buildings. Boy, this is a powerful combination. We got a dynamic duo here. Shelley Berry and Jay Riley here.
And then we can do.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. We need to do a little upgrade of adult probation and juvenile probation. Nothing's been done. How old's your son?
18.
18 years. We use that as our timeline because that's when he was born. That's when you started, wasn't it?
Not when I started, but when he was born. We moved into a juvenile probation on the day that he was born, so I didn't help in that move. So anyway, September 15 will be 18 years.
Oh,
So
that's why you get diligently.
I got it right here.
Yeah.
So you only got 18 years worth of carpet, but I wonder if the warranty's still good on that carpet.
I checked on that. It's not.
It's not.
So, and it's bad. I mean, we've got places with duct tape on it to keep it from unraveling. We're trying to give it a facelift. We've already, out of my budget, we've currently already done the break room. We're going to do some work on the tile. There is some tile in that building. So, you know, that building is a 10,500 square foot building with 7,400 foot of carpet in it. So they've got a big room in the back there that they do their training. There's a lot of offices and everything. So I put out, and it's with the co-op, and it's through, we get, you know, we've been using Home Depot. They give us a pretty decent deal on everything. And it's a turnkey job. They'll come in, what they're going to do, they're going to rip all the carpet up, the padding, put new down. And You know, unfortunately, at today's prices, it's a little expensive. It's about, actually, I think I come up with it's about $6.80 a square foot, which for that particular building is $50,252.76.
I know you're putting vinyl in a lot of the offices.
We talked about that, and I think you had some thoughts on that.
Well, it just was the thing that was going to stand up the most. We have 320 people that walk through the doors twice a month, and that's just for bond supervision. So we discussed it. We felt like this might be a little bit better on that wear and tear of that. So I'm open to suggestions. I mean, that's fine. I'm not dead set on carpet, but.
And we were a little concerned about slips and falls and things like that, because honestly, the clientele coming in there, you know, they'll spill stuff and things like that. And it's not cleaned up right away. Well, it could cause a slip or a trip. But we're open.
So, based upon everything, you think that carpet is probably better than any kind of vinyl or plastic?
Probably so, yes.
Artificial wood, all that stuff?
Yeah.
Well, can you promise us that you're going to get another 18 years out of this carpet? I think that's probably a pretty good investment.
I can say so.
I'm going to promise you a few.
Okay.
Yeah, and it does, that building's so big in the way it is, it does knock down on the sound, because you got a lot of people working in the offices. You start marching people across the vinyl and all the other, then it's a little bit disruptive. So.
Okay.
And then the second.
You said you have enough money in your budget to pay for this?
I don't have the money.
Okay. Well, Miss Kidd, of course, she has extra money, do you not?
We can use capital projects. This is for one building, correct? Not both.
Okay, this is not for both. That's a price for one building. I've got the information on the second building.
This is for Annex 1?
No.
No, it'll be for juvenile probation as well. So.
Oh, okay.
What I just talked about was adult and the size. A juvenile is a 1,500 square foot building, and part of that's already entitled, but it's $8,691.60 to do that building as well. And it needs, it's basically, I think, the same age.
It's the same.
If I'm not, all that carpet was put in probably 20 years ago or however long.
Equally worn.
Okay. Okay. Well, do I hear a proper motion?
Move that we approve the carpet replacement both for adult probation and juvenile probation buildings as stated based on the estimates that we have presented by Mr. Riley.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion been made by Commissioner Wilson to approve the replacement of the carpet in both the adult probation and juvenile probation in accordance with the numbers and dollar amounts read into the record by our maintenance supervisor, Jay Riley, second by Commissioner Cotton. Any further discussion or comment? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Next.
I'm next.
Discuss purchase of vinyl plank flooring for office replacement in Annex 1 and LEC buildings.
Yes, sir. I had enough on my budget last year. I didn't quite buy enough. I'm about 2,500 square foot shy. So I need to do some more in Annex 1 because we've done the big meeting room, we've done all the tag office, we haven't done the hall, which is kind of wearing pretty bad. So I wanted to do that. I also did all the offices in the LEC, but I've got 2 offices I need to do in the jail with vinyl planking. And so I'm basically needing to buy another pallet of it, and it's $6,237.50.
Do you have the money in the budget?
I can try to do that. I have the money, I just don't know if it's...
Because with what everything else is costing, You're not going to have it,
Probably not.
Use capital projects for that also. What was that amount again, sir?
I'm sorry, $6,237.50. And I'm getting a deal on this because I buy it, and this is through Home Depot again. I'm getting it for $48 a box. If you go down to Home Depot right now, it's $52. We're laying it ourselves. We're putting the vinyl in ourselves. And we have put in probably close to 7,500 square foot of that, maybe close to 8,000 of it already over the last year. I just misfigured, run out of money as far as another pallet load, so.
Okay, so do I have a motion regarding the vinyl plank flooring?
Yeah, I'll make the motion
Okay.
to purchase the vinyl plank flooring for office replacement in Annex 1 and LEC building up to $6,500.
Yes,
Second.
A motion been made by Commissioner Eagle to purchase a vinyl plank flooring for Annex 1 and LEC buildings up to a maximum of $6,500, seconded by Commissioner Wilson. Any further discussion or comment? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously 5-0. Thank you, Mr. Riley.
Judge, Commissioners, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, the next item. Discuss and take appropriate action regarding the Hood County Employee Health Plan for 2022-2023. Good morning, Ms. Welburn. I see you brought somebody here to help you sell this to
Yes,
us.
that's correct. This is Shamira Davis with
Okay,
Texas
welcome.
Association of Counties.
Okay.
She is our Healthy County rep, so she's very helpful to us during Healthy County promotions and putting on seminars and workshops. So this is who we turn to whenever we have a need for a Healthy County resource.
Okay. Well, good. So, what are y'all recommending for the county employee health plan for 2022-2023?
Well, I've met with each one of you. You received the actual 5 options that TAC offered. TAC and I went back and forth, trying to find something that I felt like was feasible for our county and also hopefully good for our employees. I personally recommend option 3 that's on the very last page of the options. I would like to see the court approve to reimburse the employee if they do meet the new deductible of $4,000 up to $1,500, which would mean they would need to meet the $2,500, and then the court or the county would reimburse anything above that up to the $4,000. We currently have reimbursed 8 employees. 2, I am waiting on the report for the dollar amount to confirm, and I was told that there's possibly an additional 10 employees that would qualify for the reimbursement. But I've not heard from anyone else, so they may
much is in
eventually
that?
reach out to me.
What is it, how much is in that reimbursement plan?
Well, we started with 90,000, so we probably will have used about 10,000 of it.
So we'll still have 80,000 left?
At this time, now there's still 3 months remaining in this
Right.
fiscal year. Open enrollment is August 22nd through 24th. That could be a reminder to employees, if you've met that deductible, you can seek a reimbursement. And we may see some folks come in and fill out the forms and ask for their $1,000 reimbursement.
That was $1,000 the previous year. This year, you're asking for a $1,500 reimbursement because the deductible has increased as well.
Yes, sir, I am. If it's possible, if it's feasible with the budget, I would like to see the employee get reimbursed the $1,500. So they're only seeing a $500 increase with the deductible. I hope to bring back some bigger and better options next year. We're going to start earlier in our negotiating, even before the mid-year review is out. I know healthcare is not going to get better, so I don't want to do anything that would ever cause our county to be short, but I certainly want to do what's best for our employee also.
Ms. Davis, do you agree with the statements that Ms. Welborn has made?
I have, as long as next year we do start the planning in advance. Finding a way, my recommendation for her is moving the deductible $1,000 is a steep one. So in reimbursing them $1,500, the $500 makes sense. So I do agree with her on that. I would also suggest a incentive plan moving forward that we'll start to talk to you about in the coming months for that reimbursement. Right now, you have 25 people that have met that deductible, and the rest of the employees have not, but you have a high incidence of people with high blood pressure and people with high cholesterol, which are your people that are costing you the most money. So I would recommend incentive moving forward along with this change in the next year.
Okay.
And with that, I would just like to remind the court that the prescription deductible will go up $50 with this option 3. So employees will have to meet a $300 deductible instead of the $250. And talking about these type of situations, that means prescriptions for these employees.
A lot of the conversations that we've had with all of us here, that I think you've done a great job at doing negotiating the very best deal we can for our employees by keeping the deductible down, because everything, all health care is just exploding with inflation, cost of medical treatment, everything. I think you've done a great job. And
Yes.
personally, I agree with your recommendation that option 3 is the best one with the $3,500 deductible and then having the
It's a
insurance.
It's a $4,000 deductible.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then having the insurance plan raised to $1,500.
Yes, the reimbursement, yes.
Reimbursement.
And that's worked very smoothly this year, I must say, up until now. We've not had any issues. It's worked well with the treasurer as far as I know. So, like I said, come open enrollment, employees may hear this and go, oh my gosh, I can apply for the $1,000 reimbursement. So, like I said, we may actually see more, but at this point in time, I have 10 employees.
So would we put $135,000 back, and like we, instead of 90, we'd put back $135,000?
And I'm going to leave that up to the court. We budgeted for, obviously, 90 employees. I've told you we've maybe going to meet 25 of the needs of our employees. We could, I guess, reduce that amount. If we budgeted for 60 employees at $1,500 reimbursement, that'd be $90,000 again.
We have a question.
Because inflation is really hurting everyone, and I still have $90,000 in the budget. Couldn't we leave that and offer to give them back $2,000 so there would be no impact on them?
Well, that's a possibility, but we would be less employees we'd be budgeting for.
Well, we might have, if we did 35, which is more than you're doing now, that's just 70,000. So that's just a thought.
Yeah.
The less impact on the employees, the better.
Oh, I agree. I definitely want the least amount of impact on our employees. However, this is not going to get better. Yes, we are in a year of inflation, but healthcare has been on the downhill slope for much longer, and we're not going to see this get any cheaper or any better. Some of the options I bring next year, I hope that it does not affect the employee, but I think we're going to have to make some changes. And so if possible, I'd rather keep the $90,000, reimburse up to the $1,500, and then we still got to come up with $32,000 to additionally fund what we're currently funding for the employee to receive their premium free. But I will do whatever the court wants to do.
Well, if we do end up with 25 turning in on that, that's 25,000. The difference in the premiums that we're going to pay with this plan, we're about 30,000 over last year, 32 somewhere.
That's correct.
Somewhere in that ballpark. So you're looking at about 55. That if we looked at that 90,000 that we set aside for that, took that 55 out of there, that leaves us 35. You know, I wouldn't even think that we would need to put another 90 in there like we had budgeted last year, perhaps even, you know, cut that to 60 and then let that roll over. And then go ahead and, yeah, I mean, I like the 1,500 reimbursement idea, and take care of the employees. And when you do all the math on the bottom line, as long as you're not having, you know, 80 employees or whatever that hit their deductible, then you're cheaper by running this option with the difference in premiums. So, yeah, I like the idea of the plan 3 or option 3 with the reimbursement up to $1,500. I'll make that a motion.
Second.
We have a motion made by Commissioner Andrews to take option 3 for the employee health plan for 2022 to 2023, which is with the $4,000 deductible, with the reimbursement up to $1,500, and then making the contribution of $60,000 into the reimbursement plan.
Well, I don't know if that would need to be part of the motion or if that's something that we would just do during budget.
What do you think? Does it need to be part of the motion, or we can do that? Okay.
Okay, so we're good with not having a set amount in the reimbursement, but any employee who meets the 2,500 and above can receive a reimbursement up to $1,500.
Correct.
Okay.
That's the motion.
Yes, sir.
That was made by you, second by Commissioner Healy. Okay. Any further discussion or comment? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. Doing a great job. Appreciate it. Okay. The last one. This is, I don't see any pitchforks coming your way or torches, so.
You could literally say hot topic on this one.
Yeah, this is literally a hot topic up here. Consider it take appropriate action regarding a 90-day burn ban. If this is true to form, we should get a big 10-inch rain, hopefully, in the next few days.
We'll see.
At least. Things are looking brown out.
Judge, Commissioners, so what I'm proposing today is a 90-day burn ban to restrict outdoor burning. What I would like to make clear, because I understand a lot of you have received phone calls and emails and hate mail and everything else, as have I just want to be crystal clear. This does not ban the sale and use of outdoor fireworks. This does put a ban on outdoor burning and welding without a spotter, but not the use of fireworks. The reason for that is the county has a policy I found that was developed in 2011, was last updated in 2016, and there's a copy of that on there. That policy outlines the trigger points in which we can take action. Okay, the first 2 trigger points, the first one is at 575. We would have had to have been there before June 15th, which we were not there. That first step bans the sale of sticks and fins. Our fireworks vendors here in the county have already voluntarily elected to do that on their own. They have removed all the sticks and fins inventory from their inventory, and they're not even going to sell them. The second step of that would have been if we were at 675 and we had put in place a disaster declaration, we could shorten the fireworks selling season from 11 days to 4. Our vendors also have already voluntarily on their own elected to shorten the selling season to 4 days. So they're not even going to open until July 1st. The next step of that, as per the policy, is at 710. Our average KBDI, and the KBDI is the Keach-Bryant Drought Index, has increased 8 to 10 points per day.
The update doesn't come out till 11, so all I have is yesterday's numbers. Yesterday's KBDI was at 614. If we were to increase 10 points every day between now and July 1st, we are not going to be at 710. All of that being said, we could not ban the sale and use of all fireworks until we get to a KBDI of 730, which in my 13 years I have never seen 730 in KBDI. I can think of one time we may have gotten close, but we have never gotten there. I am not a proponent of personal use fireworks. That is not the point here. If I had my way, I would ban fireworks all the time. I'm not a fan. However, there is a policy in place. People have the right to use their fireworks and do their thing. As per this policy, if we were to divert from that and put a disaster declaration in place, I think we would be going against this policy. And my question to everyone that has asked me is, where does that stop? So, as for now, what I'm asking for is a 90-day ban on outdoor burning. And there's a lot of information in that packet that I gave you. If there's any of that stuff that you'd like me to explain, I'd be happy to do so.
You heard about, I don't know if it's down in Houston or somewhere in Texas, where they're planning to use drones for their light show instead of fireworks. Have you heard that?
Yes, sir. And so when we were doing the pre-plan for this year's display for the city of Granbury, that was an option they had discussed, but their drone program is booked so far in advance, they didn't have that discussion in time. However, they weren't even going to replace the fireworks. They were going to use them in conjunction with. And so in the future, there may be a component of drone show that's included in the fireworks display. But that was something that they had discussed as an implement, not a replacement. Here, what they're doing down there, I don't know. Now, for y'all's use and your protection and whatever, I know there are other counties around us where their county judge has elected to put a disaster declaration in place to ban the sale and use of fireworks. From what I can tell, looking at the KBDI, I don't think there's a county out there that's at 710. And even at the 710 mark, that does not ban the sale and use of all fireworks. That bans the sale and use of aerial fireworks. So there are things in this policy that I feel need to be changed. All the fireworks vendors have been put on notice that once this selling season is over, we're all going to get together. We're going to discuss the triggers on our policy and revise that and try to lower those numbers down so that we're not at 730 before we can do anything. And they're all in agreement with that. The other part of that, though, is they are business owners. It may not be the business that most people desire to see flourish. However, it's a business. They've got money invested in this. They've spent time doing this. They've got all this stuff going on. So, you know, I believe it was back in 2018, there was a disaster declaration that was declared the day of or the day before the selling season. So the number 3 guy, who's third largest, I guess, in our county, indicated to me he already had $80,000 invested just in inventory and preparation and all of that stuff. So their concern is they were going to get another disaster declaration thrown on them right before the season opens, and then therefore they're eating whatever their investment is. So, I mean, there is some concern on their part that they're going to get shut down the day before the season opens. If we follow this policy, I don't think we're going to be there. I know, it's tough. And so I'll just put it up front. I'm in a position right now that I'm going to make half this county unhappy and the other half happy. And it doesn't matter what decision we make. We're either going to appease to those that want to use fireworks and upset those that don't, or we're going to appease those that don't and upset those that do. There's not a win-win in this situation. This is one of those moments where I question my career decisions. However, it is what it is, and I don't feel it's right to vary from this policy unless there's just complete circumstances that dictate that we should do so. And I don't feel that we're there yet. I do know it's dry. I do know it's hot. I do know the wind blows. It's Texas. We should expect that in July. I get it. I think the only thing that would have made a difference is if we'd have gained our independence in February.
Yeah, too late.
So, Judge, in the meantime, what I'm asking for today is a 90-day burn ban on outdoor burning.
Do I hear a motion regarding the 90-day burn ban?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, a motion is made by Commissioner Andrews to institute a 90-day burn ban beginning today.
Yes, sir.
And for 90 days, seconded by Commissioner Wilson. Any further discussion or comment? All those in agreement say aye.
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 All opposed? 90-day burn ban passes unanimously.
Thank you, sir.